Hey guys, welcome to ILG LCL Season 2, the finals of the Semi-Pro League between Team NexusDestroyers on the blue side and on the purple side we have Team Thefegits. Casting alongside me is DJ Ram and Wild Kitty. Hey guys.
Hi man, hi Todd. I actually love these bans coming out of Team NexusDestroyers. The Rumble is target banned against Crimson. We also see the Z banned out from them. That's against IML IMZ. So they've definitely done their homework. We also see the Ram is banned from Team Thefegits. I'm guessing that's directly banned off against Best Ram as SEA. That's pretty much, well, he's got the champ in his name. We also see a Lux banned out. I'm not sure who plays Lux. I'm not particularly sure. And LeBlanc's also banned, target banned out against IML IMZ. We'll just hold on to see what the third ban is going to be. We see a Sejuani ban. So Todd, we've actually seen the Sejuani come out in the Pro League. So what do you think about the Sejuani ban? Is it worth it in the Semi-Pro League?
Indeed, the Sejuani is actually the most played champion in pretty much every league, including the amateur, I guess. Especially in the Semi-Pro and the Pro League, Sejuani was the most picked jungler champ. And everybody, I mean, and I believe Best Rammus SEA has been running a lot of Sejuani if he hasn't got his hands on Rammus. So Team Thefegits are actually focusing on Best Rammus SEA in this scenario, whereas we see a lot of solo lane focus coming from Team NexusDestroyers as they banned out Crimson Hell's Rumble and IML IMZ's Z and LeBlanc.
Yeah, and we see an Irelia pickup. Crimson Hell plays an amazing Irelia, so I think that NexusDestroyer should have banned out the Irelia. To tell the truth, he plays a better Irelia than he plays a Rumble, so I think they should have banned out the Irelia first before they banned out the Rumble. I'm not particularly sure if the Z ban was necessary against IML IMZ because he actually plays a better LeBlanc, but they have let the Irelia slip through, and yeah, so that's going to be a big hit against NexusDestroyers. We also see the Graves pickup and the Morgana pickup. The Morgana, as I've said many times before, is a great pickup. She has the AoE with her Soul Shackle. She's got the binding, which actually lasts for a couple of seconds. So within that time, the Graves can burst down anyone. And she's got this, not spell, she's got the Black Shield, which is really good. We actually see a Volibear pickup. This, I haven't seen a Volibear in quite a while, but I'm just going to ask you guys, is this a comfort pick of Volibear or is this quite new?
I'm not sure. I really am not sure about the Volibear pickup. But
do you have any idea? Let's just ask Kitty because Kitty actually knows this team personally. I mean, NexusDestroyers. So I'm just going to ask Kitty. Kitty, do you know anything about this Volibear pick?
No, I haven't seen them playing, like practicing Volibear. But probably, like they might have some strategy in mind against Irelia.
No, the Volibear actually doesn't fit. Volibear doesn't fit with any of the strategies. He's basically, you know, he has a little bit of AoE damage. I believe I've seen Rowdy Killer play a little bit of Volibear in normal solo queue games when I've rally queued with him. So yeah, it could be a Volibear top. Possibly, or a Volibear jungle, I'm not too sure. But we see Wukong being picked up by Gautam Avison. And as you mentioned, DJ Ram, the Irelia was left up for, open for Crimson L12, and he has been a beast on that Irelia. And Irelia is a very strong split pusher as well. She could pretty much 1v1 most top laners and a strong split push threat to be reckoned with. Yeah, talk about these other picks, DJ Ram.
Yeah, so this Leona pickup. So we usually see Vadapoche pick up the Blitz, but I've actually spoken with Team Thefegits and they said that we don't want to continuously force him to pick the Blitz. It is a comfort pick, but we want to branch out a little bit, go for a stronger pickup. Blitz is not as reliable as he might seem. Of course he is a threat because he has a lot of pick potential, but he is not reliable. If you miss that hook, that's basically everything from Blitz. If you miss that hook, that's done. It's done. But with Leona, she has a lot more versatility, and she can go in properly rather than the Blitz going in. And she is a lot tankier, and she's got her magic resistant armor passive which comes out of a W. We also see a cannon pick up. Okay, the cannon is not going to be picked up. We see IMLIMZ hovering over the Lissandra. I'm not quite sure if he's going to pick that though. Let's just go to NexusDestroyers.
I believe he will. I believe he will. It's one of his main champions.
Okay, but what do you think this will fit in well with this team?
Well, indeed. Look at all that AoE initiation from Leona, Crimson Health Wells, Wukong. I think he'll just go with the Lissandra pick because he's been very comfortable with that pick. He has played it here in the semi-pro league, and it's one of his main champs in his ranked ID as well. But
he's actually going with
finally locked in Kennen.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised about this. I haven't seen a Kennen mid lane in quite a while. I'm considering both the Pro League and the Semi-Pro League. They've been playing non-orthodox champions in different lanes. Like I've seen a Lissandra mid lane in a couple of games. This is the first time I'm seeing a Kennen at mid in quite a while. I've never seen a Kennen at mid, so this is surprising. I'm not sure what his reason was for picking that up. Against the Azir, that too. I'm not sure how he'll fare against the Azir, but since Kennen does have that movement speed, he might be able to poke down the Azir and dodge the Sand Soldiers, but I'm not quite sure what the plan is. We also see Gautam on his comfort pick, the Wukong, which is really, really good. Dead Knight is going with the Maokai. The Maokai is usually banned out, so we don't see a lot of Maokai in the Pro or the Semi-Pro League. But Dead Knight has been lucky to pick up that Maokai. He will be facing off against Crimson Hell. As you had mentioned, Todd, Crimson Hell plays a beastly... Crimson Hell, I'm not even sure if beastly is a word, but yeah, he does play a mean Irelia. And going against Maokai, I'm not particularly sure how that matchup will work, but do you have any insight into how Irelia faces off against Maokai?
Trading auto attacks will work in favor of Irelia, obviously, but Irelia will be the stronger 1v1er, but Maokai brings more to the team fight. Maokai can split push against Irelia just because of the fact that he'll be so tanky, and it will take a very long time for Irelia in the mid to the late stages of the game to even kill him, because Irelia is going to be going a little tanky by herself. So it's basically just going to be a little bit of off tank versus full tank battle where it'll take pretty much ages. So yeah, it's a decent matchup. He can just wake clear and join in fights. So yeah, but Irelia will be the slightly stronger split pusher nonetheless. But Ram, I have to say that I hate this Kennen pick against Azir, because Azir kind of counters Kennen in the mid lane, because he will be able to poke you, and not to mention his ultimate would just negate your ultimate. He'll just push you away. He'll wall you away. What are you going to do with Kennen? The Lissandra can root you in place, but the Kennen can be pushed away unless
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why he picked this Kennen up. They might have practiced a new team comp, but I don't know how the Kennen fits in with all of them. They might be looking to change CC, but as I've said before, these Wombo combo plans, they don't usually work out the way you want them to. Of course, we've got the Solar Flare from Leona, we've got Wukong's Knock-Up, and we will have Kennen's ult, which will stun them in place, but it's very rare for that to work out properly. If you lose that CC, then you're pretty much gone, because Kennen can't sustain himself in a team fight as easy as other champions, especially as Lissandra. Lissandra can probably just go in, take someone down, Zhonya's, and then come out of the team fight, or at least deal a lot of damage, but it's not the same with Kennen. He will be taken down once he goes in and Zhonya's. So I'm not quite sure about this Kennen pickup, as you said, Todd. So I'm really unconvinced, but we might see some good playing once we get in game. We also see Chloe on his Lucian. It doesn't matter which ADC Chloe plays. I've always respected him as an ADC. He's done really well, but I'm not taking away any credit from Dragon Slayer. So we might be seeing some good plays from Dragon Slayer. We actually, yesterday we saw Kranko playing ADC for, I've actually forgot which team, but Kranko did play the Graves. Yeah, for Nox Gaming. And Kranko did really well on the Graves. We were surprised at how well he played, considering he did play ADC for quite a while, but he is a support main now. I mean, just now currently for the past couple of months. And yeah, he's a support main for Ruthless Gaming, and he was subbing in for Nox. And he did so well on the Graves. Since then, I've just been waiting to see another Graves. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to a lot of plays from this Graves for NexusDestroyers. And NexusDestroyers are a pretty great team. They're on par with Thefegits. In fact, they have beaten Thefegits once before, so Thefegits will be looking to redeem their status. And yeah, so they're hoping to win this out. And yeah, so let's just look forward to this bot lane matchup. Leona's pretty aggressive against the Morgana, but we do have to remember that Morgana has a black shield, which is going to prevent Leona from stunning up anyone. So Morgana will have to decide between saving herself or saving her ADC. She'll probably decide to save Graves. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this bot lane matchup. I'm also looking forward to top lane because, as you said, Todd, Irelia, especially Crimson Hell 12's Irelia, is extremely aggressive. He makes a lot of 1v1 plays. He goes straight in and he will look to get an early kill. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm not particularly sure about this mid lane, as you said, Todd. I'm not convinced about the cannon pickup. But considering what you said, Todd, personally, I think this Azir will be looking to pick up a kill on cannon early. What do you think?
I think Azir will just farm it out. He could manage to outpoke Kennen, and if he gets to poke Kennen enough, he could probably go aggressive. But Kennen's ultimate is just going to be completely negated by Azir's ult. I mean, Kennen is countered hard by champions which have something that pushes you away, such as a Janna ult, such as a Lee Sin ult, such as an Alistar headbutt, and in this case, an Azir's ultimate as well. So. And you won't even be able to get back unless you have to flash over Azir's ult.
Moved out of your channel.
That's basically a counter he just picked against himself. He just countered himself. I'm not sure why he did that. Maybe he just didn't. He's probably not sure about the Azir kit because we don't see a lot of Azirs and people are not familiar with what Azir actually does.
No, definitely not convinced, Todd. You are quite right. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work out for IML as far as everything else is concerned, all other lanes, they'll go pretty evenly. As you said, the Irelia, even though she's really aggressive, she will have to face off against a Maokai who's damn tanky, so she won't be able to get a kill as easily. As far as bot lane is concerned, I'm actually thinking it'll go evenly because Graves does have his passive and the black shield from Morgana. Butterpoche can be as aggressive as he wants, but he's still going to have to worry about the black shield coming out from Morgana. As far as the junglers are concerned, I actually think this Volibear will be trying to gank early, considering he has that passive which helps him health regen. So you can just run under the tower, try to take out, I'm guessing he'll be trying to take out the cannon once cannon blitzes out. And as far as Gautam on his Wukong is concerned, he is passive. I've mentioned this before. He is really passive, but he has a lot to offer when it comes to team fighting. He will engage, he'll knock everyone up, go out, decoy out for a bit, let his decoy do that tad bit of damage, and then come back and takes just slams on the ADC. Yeah, so he just tries to zone out the ADC, and that's his job. So he's pretty much done his job right there. But as far as laning phase is concerned, he ganks at times. He's not really aggressive at ganking, but I'm expecting this Volibear to gank a lot more. But yeah, I will also be looking forward to Volibear's plays because I've spoken about best Rammus SEA before. When he does play Rammus, he's always ganking all the bloody time. He does so well when he ganks. And we actually see that the game's actually just begun. It's just come out of pause. And the blue team is rushing towards the Triforce. The red team is kind of split up. They might be rushing towards River right now. Irelia is actually going near the Baron Brush. What do you think about this level 1, Todd? Do you think this invade is going to happen?
It looks like it will because they do have a Morgana. And I don't think they have any of the CC. Maokai not likely to be unlocking his snap first unless he does actually Morgana actually lands a binding on somebody. So yeah, about the top lane matchup, one of my friends just pinged me saying that he really actually destroys a Maokai post level 9 when he really has a couple of items such as Sheen and a Phage or even a complete Trinity Force. Irelia will actually be able to bully out the Maokai.
Hey, wake up.
Definitely.
Even if Maokai actually comes out ahead and builds a lot of armor, I guess the Trinity Force, Sheen proc and everything would be enough for Crimson L12's Irelia to actually win out duels against the Maokai and be a battle split pusher.
Yeah, we might actually see Chloe's just hovering near that bush. I hope he doesn't end up walking through that because there are 5 people just waiting. I think they're actually waiting for the ADC and the support to come up. No, they're actually going to go look for the steal, and Thefegits have no idea. Chloe has no ideas. I think Chloe is going to be the first one to get caught. He does get caught. He will possibly be taken out, and he does get taken out. First blood goes to Team NexusDestroyers. We also see them take the Gromp. Best Ramus just takes the Gromp. He might be looking for the blue too. No, he actually ends up walking straight back. Dead Knight. Okay, there's a pause, and Dead Knight did teleport up top. So that was an amazing invade. That was well, I wouldn't say amazing, but that was a great invade from Team NexusDestroyers, and they did take down the ADC. So I've mentioned this before. Chloe is one of the best ADCs, and to shut him down this early is definitely a boon for Team NexusDestroyers, and is a solid bane for Team Thefegits. And I hope they can come back from this because yeah, Chloe needs his early farm, but he is still a really great player, so I'm expecting him to come back from this. But what do you think about the lack of vision at the beginning, Todd?
Yeah, indeed. That shows a little bit of unprofessionalism. Despite them having such high-skilled players, they should ward all the entrances at level 1, because this is a 5v5 game, and they're supposed to ward out all the entrances if they are planning to, you know, go standard lanes. And the lack of wards in the open areas of the river actually cost them the first blood. But nonetheless, it's still Chloe. He's currently the best ADC, arguably, in the semi-pro league. So. So we could see him come back big, even after giving away a first blood to the Volibear. So the first blood did actually go to the Volibear, who's not a laner, so it's not too much of a deal for the laners.
But that will also mean that Volibear will be able to gank earlier than the Wukong, because he will have a little bit more gold.
That's true.
Yeah, you just talking about the vision again. We actually see that Chloe and Leona, that is played by Vada, both have their wards up. Neither of their wards are on cooldown. So they definitely misplayed that. They got a little, I think they just got a little bit cocky, and they thought that there was going to be no invade from NexusDestroyers. But you do have to remember that even at this level, actually these guys are on subpar to the pro league. So even at this level, they do occasionally invade, and they will punish your mistakes. Even these are not tiny mistakes. Not warding is not a tiny mistake. It's a pretty huge mistake from Team Thefegits. So I definitely am disappointed about that with the level of skill that they have. Yet if they are making such mistakes, this is really poor on their part. But I hope they can come back. As you said, Todd, Chloe is arguably the best ADC in semi-pro league, at least in our opinion. And yeah, I'm hoping he can come back from this. He's actually picked up a couple of extra pots just to keep him sustained in lane when he does come back. The Graves go straight back to lane, and he's just going to clear out the wave. He's going to have an advantage on Chloe and Vadapoche on the Leona. As far as the top is concerned, Crimson is just farming up. He deals a little bit of poke onto Dead Knight, but nothing big. Misses out on one CS. The mid lane, you can actually look at this, Todd. The mid lane, IML is actually pushing up the mid lane under the tower. This is good play from the cannon. This is definitely good play from the cannon. Just pushing it under the tower. So what are your predictions for this mid lane?
I believe Cannon will be safe from ganks from Azir, because whenever Azir tries to go a little aggressive, he can just away. That is, he'll just dash. I mean, run really fast. I don't know what that spell ability is called. My bad. It's called the Lightning Rush.
Lightning Rush.
Yeah, so he will be able to just run away, and Azir has to get like really in the face, like melee range, to actually land a knock up with his QE combo. So yeah, Cannon should be fairly safe. But I don't see a kill potential on the Cannon, and in team fights, like I mentioned in Champion Select, he could be potentially countered hard with that Azir's wall.
Yeah, the Azir wall is definitely going to play a role in that. Rowdy Killer has actually landed 2 continuous bindings onto Chloe right now, so Chloe should watch out. He doesn't want to get continuously bound by this Morgana. He's already down a kill. Let's just see a strong engage onto Crimson Hell by Dead Knight. Dead Knight is trading really, really well onto Yeah, Irelia is taking a lot of damage. She won't be forced out of lane, but she'll be forced out of the minions. So yeah, she has to stop taking so much damage. Rowdy Killer is taking a little bit of poke from Chloe. Butterpocha actually gets locked up by the binding. He's standing on the tormented soil, just takes a little bit of damage. It's about 2 bars down right now. As far as the Volibear is concerned, he's just cleaned out the red buff. I think he will be ganking the bot lane first. Chloe takes a little bit of damage, another couple of bars down on him. He does not have any pots left. So if the Volibear did want to gank right now, it would be good because I think Chloe is sort of coming out of lane just a little bit. So a lane gank would be advisable for the Volibear right now. But I don't think they're planning on something like that anytime soon. We actually see a gank up top by Wukong. He's probably going to engage onto Dead Knight. Dead Knight is going to get stunned up. The Wukong does engage. Gautam Iverson's going hard onto Dead Knight. Dead Knight knocks back Crimson Hell. Dead Knight is taking quite a bit of damage. The red buff is helping Gautam Iverson onto Dead Knight, but nothing big happening. Dead Knight did not have to burn any summoners, so he's perfectly fine right now. The bot lane is going pretty passively. A little bit of aggressive play from Dragon Slayer, but other than that, it's quite passive. Rowdy Killer's just spamming out his bindings. Vadapocha actually takes a lot of damage. He's less than half health now. He does not have any pots, so this is kind of bad play from Team Thefegits, especially Team Thefegits bot lane. They've already made a couple of mistakes, and Chloe nearly goes down. He's 1 bar health. What do you think about this bot lane right now, Todd?
Indeed, the thing about Lucian Leona lane is that Lucian is fine, but the Leona can't go aggressive before she's level 6 against a Morgana, and a kill picked up by Dragon Slayer. They should have based. That was a huge mistake coming out of Chloe. He was 1 bar of HP before that, and he had to make sure if he saw a binding coming, he should just dash away. A little bit of slow reaction time at that place actually cost him a death again. So that's actually 0-2-0 Chloe. We are yet to see if this will actually get to him and affect his gameplay, this game. But so yeah, Leona can't do much against Morgana because pre-level 6, because Morgana will spell shield one of those 2 stuns. So yeah, well, once she has the level 6 though, Leona, if with the help of a gang, will be able to will be a stronger threat than a Morgana. But so yeah, and the what's his name? Chloe didn't have his flash up because of the level 1 disaster. So yeah, he basically had to just back right there. I'm not sure why he stayed and did see that.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't end up tilting. Leona still has her exhaust right now. Terminator might be ganked by Gautam Iverson, but actually Terminator just
hey, wake up.
Dashes on out. Gautam Iverson is still looking to gank Terminator. He just taxes IMLIMZ, but nothing much further. Crimson Hell is just going even with Dead Knight. Nothing great happened. Actually, he's not going even. He's actually got a 15 CS lead against Dead Knight right now. So this is well played by Crimson. As you said that you did receive a ping from one of your friends saying that Irelia will start outscaling this Maokai after level 9. But it seems that she's already started. Yeah, it's not even level 9 and she's already started. Chloe is taking another binding to the face. We might actually see Chloe nearly go down yet again. I am not convinced with Chloe's performance in this game right now because he's not doing as well as I would have expected. Rowdy Killer nearly goes down to Gautam Iverson. Gautam Iverson does get stunned, bound, and he does go down to Morgana. This is definitely not good play from Team Thefegits, but Crimson Hell with a beautiful teleport. He nearly takes down Dragon Slayer, but ends up flashing for the kill against the Morgana that is Rowdy Killer. Dragon Slayer does not go down. Dragon Slayer did have to use his heal, but he does still have his flash up. I'm not particularly sure about the Wukong. He should have dodged out the Morgana's binding. He should have been expecting that, so that was a mistake from Wukong. IMZ is just taking a little bit of poke. So, talking about this mid lane right now, Todd, you were quite right about this Azir having to poke the cannon. The cannon is taking quite a bit of poke. The cannon does use his, I think it's called energy surge? Lightning rush, Lightning rush, yeah. It does use his lightning rush to move out. And yeah, that's the only problem that this Volibear is going to have, the Lightning Rush being up. So he'll have to wait for the Lightning Rush to be burnt before he ganks the next time. Yeah, but this Irelia pickup is definitely helping them. She's got a 1-kill lead over now, but she does lose the minion lead as she teleported in, whereas the Maokai cancelled his teleport. I actually think the Maokai should have continued his teleport after seeing the... I think, actually, what happened was the Irelia stopped his teleport. The Irelia actually stopped Maokai's teleport, and then he started teleporting under tower. So that was well played by Crimson Hell. Crimson Hell coming out with the moves. So he's done really well against this Maokai. I'm also looking forward to a lot more plays from him. Right now, I would have usually said that if Chloe carries these games, but this time they'll have to depend on this Irelia to play really well for them. He's taking a little bit of damage from Dread Knight. Irelia does run out of mana, and he just runs on the tower. We also see another pause coming out. I'm not sure whose side has paused the game right now. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, so this bot lane is not really convincing, is it now, Todd?
Indeed. But his flash just came up, so and Crimson Hell with that teleport eased a little bit of pressure for Clovey in the bot lane, so he's good for the next couple of minutes, especially because he's got his flash up and available. But yeah, I'm convinced by the mid lane though. IMZ is doing a really great job farming with that cannon, and you do see that most of the cannon pickups, they all usually start with the Doran's Blade. In this case, he just started with a boot and health pods. Usually the Doran's Blade is used to just help him get those last hits, because cannons auto attacks are pretty weak. Plus it's actually recommended because it's usually cannon goes top lane and he's up against a melee where the Doran's Blade will actually come in more in handy. But nonetheless, without that extra bit of AD, IMZ is doing a fantastic job farming out with that cannon. But like I said, despite him being fed, he could just be walled away from ulting properly in team fights. So that's yet to be seen how it works out, and if Azir actually manages to actually see that coming and focus cannon and wall him out.
We actually see a lot of pings coming down on the bot lane of Team Thefegits. IMZ is actually standing right on top of a ward. Terminated. Okay, I don't think his name is actually Terminated. It's Termianter. Termianter_7 is actually doing really. He's doing pretty well on the Azir, but not as well as we would have expected. Because I'm only saying he's doing really well because I consider IMZ to be one of the best mid laners, and he plays really, really smart. Because I'm gonna commend him on this boot pickup for Cannon. He must have thought that Sand Soldiers are going to come in pretty hard, so he needs that extra movement speed just to dodge out the Sand Soldiers. So that was definitely a good pickup by Cannon. And as you said, with the Doran's Blade, he will have that extra AD to take down the minions. But without that extra AD to be doing this well, I do have to commend him. So IMZ is definitely doing well. The Irelia, as I mentioned before, is doing really well. She has got that minion lead yet again. She's up by about 7 minions right now. So I'm expecting that to grow larger and larger because she does have that 1-kill advantage, whereas Maokai has only got an assist. As far as jungling is concerned, the Volibear still has that 1 kill that he got in the beginning of the game, whereas the Wukong has gone down once, along with an assist that he provided the bot lane. There is a ward near the dragon right now, so we might be seeing an early dragon soon enough. If it's going to be an early dragon, it has to be within the next couple of minutes, but apparently not. Badapoche is taking, just took a binding to the face along with the Tormented Soil. IMZ that's just getting poked out. Let's just talk about these. Actually, we might see a dive onto the bot lane. Best Rammus is going really hard. He does knock back Badapoche. Leona will go down to Best Rammus. That's his second kill now on this Volibear. I'm not sure what Badapoche was doing there. He should have completely backed off when he saw the Volibear, but they were waiting. They were actually thinking that they could defend the tower. The tower had about 2 shots on it left, so I think that was really poor play. Crimson Hell does go really hard on Dead Knight. He does Q onto another minion. We might see Dead Knight going down, but yeah, we might actually see Dead Knight going down. Dead Knight going really, really low, but no, Crimson Hell does decide to back off because Dead Knight does have that flash up, which he decides not to burn. We might see the first dragon going down to Team NexusDestroyers. Soon enough. IMZ is just hiding around the outside, just trying to prevent this first dragon going down. He needs to try to prevent this first dragon going down, but decides not to. But this is definitely good play from NexusDestroyers. do you think that Team Thefegits has to pick up their game right now? But what do you think about that bot lane death on Leona?
That was good play from Team NexusDestroyers, knowing that the bot was about to go down. Spectranet SE actually decided to show up, knowing that the turret will die and he could even run past it. That's exactly what he did. He just ran past the tower, and when the tower was taken out by Graves, I believe, and they just Volibear just flashed in and knocked Leona into both Graves and the Morgana, and Leona never had a flash at that instant. He just came up, so that was pretty much no escape for her. She just died, and that actually led to Team NexusDestroyers actually getting a dragon. But I think they could have actually tried contesting it, the Thefegits, considering that Morgana had no mana at that point, and it was basically a 4v5 as well, and they were clumped up for Cannon's ultimate. So, but nonetheless, they decided to play it safe. Meanwhile, ult in the top lane, Maokai will be forced to flash. Maokai will get away with the activation of his Righteous Glory. I don't think it helps in running away, because it's mostly it's a catch-up item. It does nothing when you try to run away. So yeah, you do see that Maokai was actually out trading the Irelia pre-level 9, but once Irelia at that level 9, she's winning on the trades. Blue buff steal comes in, Dragon Slayer manages to pick that up. A good Leona ult onto 2 members, an awesome Kennen ultimate, and this is exactly what it's done. The Azir knocks him over a little bit, but not enough, as Kennen also goes down because he didn't have a Zhonya's, and Irelia teleports bot lane. Dragon Slayer will be taken out, and Irelia might go down here as well. Irelia does not have any flash up. Wukong puts a lot of damage onto Terminator from behind. Lucian is free hitting everybody. Rammus SEA is running out of there. Maokai is still sitting in top lane without a teleport. So basically that was a 4v5 fight picked by Team NexusDestroyers. A poor call, but nonetheless they will trade a tower in exchange. Or will they? Because they have no minions.
I don't think they will trade this tower. I think Dead Knight will go down to it. No, I think Dead Knight's going to go down to... Oh, he just manages to stay alive. If he had taken that other shot, he would have gone really, really low. That was definitely well played by Dead Knight. I actually think I should commend him for staying alive to that tower. That was good play, especially for a tank who doesn't have that much damage in his basic attack.
For a bot tower in return. But we might see the bot lane being in trouble right now, as Spectranet SEA is chasing the Wukong, will knock him into the team.
We might see Gautam Iverson just go down here. He doesn't have the... Oh my god.
I don't know what that Zenith Blade was about. Probably.
This is semi-pro play at its best. So yeah, that is what happens in semi-pro plays, boys. That's the difference between pro and semi-pro. In the semi-pro, we sort of just put out our Zenith Blades on the opposite side, hoping to catch someone.
He probably just had it on Smartcast. I'm not sure.
I don't know what that was on. Yeah, they can't afford to make mistakes like that. Crimson is actually going pretty hard on the Dead Knight.
They would actually prefer to make that trade 1 kill for a turret, because they want that extra bit of gold.
Yeah, but I was talking about that Zenith Blade miss. You don't want mistakes like that, but actually, if she had hit that Zenith Blade, I think the Leona would have gone down, and then straight after the Wukong would have also gone down. So
yeah, they didn't
it's a good thing that it didn't actually hit. But yeah, you don't want to be missing any skill shots. Right now, we do see all the first tier towers go down for Team Thefegits. They're 3 towers down, considering that they've only taken 1 tower, so they're falling behind quite a bit. They're already 4k gold down. So Team Thefegits does have to pick up their game right now. Dread Knight is going really hard on Crimson Hell. Crimson Hell is forced to ult. He is going on Dead Knight. Dead Knight, we might actually see Dead Knight go down. He does not have his flash right now. Dead Knight will probably go down. IML Answer is going hard. Crimson Hell does pick up his third kill actually. He picks up his 3rd kill onto Dead Knight now. Dead Knight has died for his first time, so Crimson Hell is getting quite fed. You were saying at the beginning of the match, Todd, the Crimson Hell does really, really well on this Irelia. So, do you think that this Irelia will be the key to winning this game for Team Thefegits?
It could possibly be. And that was actually a really bad overextension from Maokai, because the split push actually only works if the rest of your team is grouped up and pushing. The Maokai was just seen very overextended when none of the team was split pushing. They were dispersed all across the map. So that was definitely a misplay coming out of Dead Knight on that Maokai.
Yeah, I actually think that I should talk about the okay. We actually have a DC on the blue team right now, so NexusDestroyers will be looking to pause out their game. Yeah, so they have paused it out. Yeah, but talking about the wards over here, I actually think both teams are warded pretty well. Team Thefegits knows that their wards, they don't need wards in the enemy jungle because they are not going to extend that far. They're already down by a lot of gold. They're down on towers. They're down on a dragon. So they don't need wards in the enemy jungle. So they've been smart and they've warded out their own jungle because they don't want another invade type of, like a 3-man invade into their jungle trying to take down their ADC or any other champion in the jungle. So they want to just protect their own jungle. Whereas Team NexusDestroyers has warded out the enemy jungle because they are overextending. But as you said, this Maokai overextended without any wards near that red buff. They do have a ward just behind Baron, but they needed a ward near that red buff, which they have failed to put down. So that was a sort of bad play from Maokai, but he did manage to stay alive for quite a bit. That just shows you how tanky this Maokai is and how much he's going to bring to the team fights in the mid to late game, along with this Graves, who has massive burst, and he's up by 2 kills and he's got 6 assists. That's massive. He's actually got 100% kill participation. So this Graves is definitely paying off dividends for them. The game will be resumed in a couple of seconds. But yeah, this Aurelia is pretty much the only key for Team Thefegits. Kennen is actually doing pretty well, isn't he, Todd?
Indeed, indeed. So far it's been looking good. Judging from the fact that the Kennen ulti wasn't, completely rendered useless by Azir's ultimate, I'm surprised because that wall did push him away, but not enough. So I might have been wrong about, the Kennen being countered hard by Azir. It does outposition him a little bit, knock him out a tad bit of length, but it's not enough for Azir to be completely safe, as Kennen did manage to put out a lot of damage. It's yet to be seen if how both those ultimates by both the mid laners will play out in the rest of the team fights.
We actually see the dragon just respawn now, and Team Thefegits is completely invested in this. They are going in. They will be going to the dragon, but I actually think they're going to push up the mid lane rather than go for the dragon. I'm not gonna say this is the best of ideas because they should be contesting the dragon. They can't just let these dragons go. We did see once the first couple of dragons are picked up, they just go to the team that usually has the dragons picked up every other time. So this is poor play from Team Thefegits. They didn't push out the mid lane. They didn't go for the dragon. The Aurelia spent a lot of time in the mid lane, and this is definitely poor play. Dead Knight is going near Badapoche, but Badapoche actually backs off. They don't have the Aurelia protecting the mid lane now. Aurelia is actually teleporting onto the back. She is going to be flanking from behind. She'll probably be going on to Terminator. She is flanking from behind. I don't know what Team Thefegits is doing. They should be going really hard on Team NexusDestroyers right now with Aurelia flanking from behind. Her teleport was completely rendered useless by the play from Team Thefegits. This is poor play. I am seriously calling this play out right now. Gotham Iverson does get caught by this Maokai. He is going to use his ult onto Rowdy Killer. And he does go down first. We see the Wukong going down. We see Azir going down. We might see Dragon Slayer does go down. Dragon Slayer does go down. Rowdy Killer is going to be next on the platter. We might see Rowdy Killer go down. Rowdy Killer does go down. Dead Knight is going to be next on the menu. Best Ram as SEA is going to go down to Kennen. Dead Knight flashes out the Q from Chloe. But we see that the Best Ram as SEA actually manages to take down the Kennen. I don't know what happened over there. I would have expected Best Ram as SEA to go down, especially when he had absolutely no health and no mana. So I don't know what just happened there. That was chaotic. If you, as you would have seen, Todd, the teams were completely split up. The ADC and the support were in one side of the map. The tanks were on the other side. Aurelia, she did really well in that team fight. I'm going to commend this. I'm going to continuously commend this Aurelia because she has been an integral part in these not only in these team fights but split pushing and staying alive as compared to the rest of her teammates. Lucian, as you said, Chloe is the #1 ADC in the semi-pro league. He is doing so well now, considering that he was down 2 kills. He was 0-2. Now he has 3 kills. So let's I don't know what to say about Chloe right now. He's doing really, really well. I don't know what happened with Kennen and Bestramus SE over there. We actually missed it, but Bestramus SE is doing really, really well. This Volibear with the 6 kills, it's really, really good. I have to commend him on that. But what do you think about that? What are your views about that fight, Todd?
Yeah, we did actually see that Kennen ult, like I expected, being completely negated by Azir's ult. He was pushed over the wall. Kennen, I believe, flashed inside. Yeah, he did. Kennen flashed, at the area where, near the river area, near the Baron, and he flashed inside, and he was actually pushed again out through the wall by Azir's ult. That's exactly what I was talking about, that Kennen ult was completely rendered useless. He did manage to put in a little bit of damage before that ultimate was completely useless, but nonetheless, it's not how Kennen's ultimate works if, you have a lot of people who can push you away.
Yeah, he does need to stay in the fight to have that ult tri-proc onto the stun, right? So if he can't manage to stay in the fight, then that's definitely poor performance. IMLMZ is actually going hard onto Dead Knight. Crimson House just stuns him up. Dead Knight just uses his
Righteous
Glory, but he will probably be going down. There are 4 people up top. Vadapochi just stuns him up. Dead Knight will go down to IMLMZ. That's a 3rd kill onto the cannon, but there is a push up the mid lane. Clovy's the only one trying to defend the mid lane right now, but Azir is actually gone up to the top lane. I think the Azir should have gone to mid lane and just tried to... Radikillan is going to take some damage from Chloe, but Chloe does get bound. That was a 2.5 second binding. So now Gautam Iverson is going hard. No, he would have gone hard onto Bestramus SEA, but his team does not support him, so he just decides to back off, and that was wise of him because Bestramus SEA is quite far up. He has completed his Round-1 Omen, and he is really, really strong right now. He's got 6 kills on him and a couple of assists. He's got 86 farm on him. Gautam Iverson is not doing as well. He's actually down by 3 deaths, but he does have a kill and 5 assists, so I wouldn't take all the glory away from him, so he's doing pretty well. Vadapoche on his Leona is doing alright. He's got 3 assists, got 2 deaths, but he's only got those 2 deaths because he's protecting the rest of his team from dying, so he is doing really well. I have to commend the Morgana. She's got 1 kill and 7 assists, and she was an integral part in shutting down Chloe early. Even though he's come back into the game, she did shut him down pretty well early on in the game. But let's just talk about this Azir and this Kennen. As you had said, Todd, the Azir did knock out the Kennen from his ult, but we do have to focus on the fact that the Kennen is definitely doing better than the Azir right now. What do you think about that?
Indeed, he's sitting on 3-2-3 as opposed to Azir being on 0-2-4, and not to mention the farm difference as well. IMLMZ is convincingly winning out the farm battle as well. Meanwhile, we see Bestramus SEA going aggressive onto the Wukong, but that's probably not the ideal choice, as you could just push Wukong into your team who will just be happy to ult into your own team. So that's not the ideal target to push into your team. So nonetheless, we could see another team fight coming in. We see the Azir's passive, the Emperor's what's it called again? One second.
No, that's not
Emperor's. No, it's
that's his ult.
Shurima's
called Shurima's Legacy.
It's what it's called. Yeah. So yeah. So that's that. I don't know why he didn't get to use it the very first time. Maybe he forgot about his passive. But nonetheless, it's up and available this time, and yeah, Volibear is going very good flank from Volibear. A decent ult from Kennen, not getting pushed away by Azir this time around. Wukong going deep, and Ham Graves is forced to flash. Gautam Iverson is split apart a little bit. He has nowhere to go. Sorry, he will escape to the side, and meanwhile, Kennen had a slither of health, tries to put in a little bit of damage onto the Graves, but that's not to be. That'll actually mean our turret, in mid inhibitor turret for team NexusDestroyers. That was actually a convincing fight for team NexusDestroyers, despite one horrible team fight which happened a couple of minutes ago.
I actually think there was misplayed from Team Thefegits because Gautam Iverson and the Irelia played by Crimson Hell did go straight under Shurima's Legacy. that is the tower placed by Azir. So they took a lot of damage just from the tower, and that was not good play from Team Fezits in that particular fight. But Chloe did manage to do well in that fight, and he is still doing really well. Irelia, regardless of the fact that she did go all the way over there, she still did do well, and they might actually be looking to take the dragon out. They will take the dragon out. Gautam Iverson does get bound right under the dragon, but he'll make his he'll be on his way out right now. But that's well played by Team Fezits. So that rush onto the dragon to prevent that third dragon was definitely well played from Team Fezits, and I can sort of see them coming back into this game because now they've got kill equalizers, so they're 12-12 against NexusDestroyers. The gold is becoming more and more negligible. The gold difference is becoming more and more negligible, considering that at about 15 to 20 minutes they were actually 7k, 4 to 5k gold down. Sorry, forgive me. So 4 to 5k gold down, but now they're about 3 to 4k gold down. So they've definitely pulled up their gold difference, and it is becoming more and more negligible as we move on to the late game. We're currently in the mid game, so we will be moving on to the late game soon enough. The Kennen has completed his Zonian, which is definitely helping him out, and which actually helped him to do quite a bit of damage in that fight. And as you said, he had a beautiful ult, but all of that was negated by the Shurima's Legacy, which dealt a lot of damage onto the players of Team Fezits. This Volibear is doing well. He did go all in, which is maybe misplayed. We might see Crimson now just getting caught out. We see a beautiful ult from the Leona. She misses the Zenith play. We see Wukong just take down the ADC. This is well played by Team Fezits. Gautam Iverson does go down next to the beastly Volibear. Bestramus SCA is dealing a lot of hurt onto Chloe right now. Chloe might be the next person to go down. He does go down, and this is an ace. That was... It actually looked like it was going in the favor of Team Fezits, but they all end up going down. The two of the tanks ended up just cleaning up the whole team fight, and I don't know what to say about Team Fezits right now. That was that looked like they were doing really well, and if they couldn't win such a fight, then this is looking really, really devastating for Team Fezits, and I actually think that this game might be on its way to the finish. What do you think, Todd?
Indeed, the ADC was pretty much insta-deleted before the fight even happened, and that was a very good ultimate out of IMLMZ on that cannon, and Azir's ult did not this time push him out. So basically that was, I thought the Thefegits have won this team fight, and I'm surprised to see that despite all that, and they really actually tanked out most of the damage at the very beginning of the fight when she took all that aggro, letting all that cooldown of Team NexusDestroyers to be wasted on the tanky Irelia. And it was a very good ultimate out of Gautam Iverson's Wukong as well. I'm not sure what went wrong at all, because even Chloe was dishing out a lot of damage from behind. But I guess Bestramus SCA and Maokai were just too far ahead, and they were just dealing a lot of AoE damage. That's the only possible explanation why NexusDestroyers came out ahead in that fight, because Maokai and the Volibear put out a lot of AoE damage. So that fight was actually won because a lot of damage put in by the tanks as opposed to the damage dealers of NexusDestroyers.
Yeah, but we do have to remember that before the Graves went down, he did manage to use his buckshot and collateral damage. So he did deal quite a bit of damage before he went down, but still, I think that fight should have been in the favor of Team Fezits, but they got a little too over-aggressive, and they forgot that the Volibear does do a lot of damage, and they didn't count for the Volibear's damage. So I hope Team Fezits can pull this game back, but I doubt it right now, because it seems like they're only tilting further and further. They did seem like they were coming back into the game, but now in the team fights they are tilting further in. Crimson Hell just forced to use his Transcendent Blades to clear out the wave, so he won't have that for the team fight for the next 50 seconds. Gautam Iverson is actually teleporting back to base. I don't know what the plan is. They're just letting them take the tower. They should be fighting this under the tower, because that's the only time they can actually fight him. Bestramus SCA goes really hard onto IMLIMZ. We might see a Bestramus SCA go down first. Chloe's taking quite a bit of damage from Bestramus SCA's Thornmail, where Crimson Hell nearly goes down. We might actually see Crimson Hell going down. IMLIMZ manages to get his ult off, and he takes down Terminator goes down to Chloe. Sorry, this is actually quite aggressive. Maokai also goes down. Rowdy Killer is next on the menu, but he does not go down. Bestramus SCA is just too tanky. But Gautam Iverson's going really, really hard onto Dragon Slayer. Dragon Slayer might be going down on this Graves. No, but Dragon Slayer manages to stay alive. Crimson Hell's trying really hard. We might see Crimson Hell going down. He does go down to Dragon Slayer. That was definitely poor performance from Crimson Slayer. I don't know what he was thinking. He wasted his Q onto the tank. So that was definitely bad of him to do that. Yeah, but as far as everything is concerned, Chloe did manage to do pretty well in that fight. And IMZ with a beautiful ult, and he actually Zhonya's at the right moment. He was about 5 health or something when he Zhonya'd, used his Zhonya's, so that was definitely well played by IMZ. And that fight did still go in the favor of Team NexusDestroyers, so if anything, Team Thefegits should be working on winning at least one of these fights, so this is looking really bad for them. They did manage to save the top inhibitor tower, but what do you think about this game, Todd? I actually think it's over now.
That was actually a very good fight from Team Thefegits. Beautiful ult out of IMZ. I feel the main reason they actually lost that fight was because Kennen was actually poked out, bound by Morgana and soiled as well. So before Kennen was even in the fight, he was 20% HP. So he could have actually done a little more damage if he hadn't taken all that free damage from the bindings. But yeah, before the fight even happened, a lot of the members of Team Thefegits took a lot of unnecessary damage, which is, and you did see the Wukong actually trying to suicide by going inside, but I guess it was a confused call from Team Thefegits. They didn't know whether they wanted to fight or not, but nonetheless, it was that ultimate out of Kennen did a lot of damage, but still.
I'm not quite sure about these fights, Todd, because we gotta remember that was probably one of the best chances for them to clear up these team fights, but even with everything hitting properly, the wombos hitting properly, they still couldn't win the fight. So this is unconvincing from Team Thefegits.
The wombos actually didn't stack upon each other. They were Wukong altered at a different time, Kennen altered at a different time. So basically, it was a little chaotic. That's exactly what you mentioned during Champ Select too, that all these AoE compositions doesn't always get to work out, because it only works out when you make the perfect initiation with the Leona ultimate and you go in, but that's pretty much never the case.
Yeah, we actually see Beshram is going pretty hard. He's coming in really hard onto Chloe.
Good ult out of Leona.
Definitely a good ult. We actually see Terminator going down first. We might see Dragon Slayer next, but Dragon Slayer deals a lot of hurt onto Gautam going down on this Wukong. Chloe's already really low. He actually manages to run away. IMZ will go down next. I think Leona will probably go down now. She actually manages to escape because she has the boots of mobility. But no, she actually doesn't have the boots of mobility. She will probably go down because she's using the Ninja Tabai. But she manages to run away. She will go back to the base, and only Chloe and Barapoche will be there to defend this base. I'm not sure what's happening. They did get an amazing engage onto Terminator, but Chloe was zoned out. So I think, if anything, Team Thefegits should be working on protecting Chloe and preventing him from being zoned out so hard. Whereas this Graves is not being zoned out. He's dealing the hurt, and he did manage to take down Gautam, and we might actually see the first Baron going to Team NexusDestroyers. We're actually seeing pings from Team Thefegits onto the Baron. We see a teleport onto the Baron. A home guard Aurelia is coming in. She might be looking to take down Dragon Slayer first. If she can take down Dragon Slayer, this will be a good fight for Team Thefegits. We see Chloe coming in from behind. They might be going really hard on Best Ramus SCA. They are going really hard on Best Ramus SCA. Chloe's taking a lot of damage from the Thorn Mail. But Best Ramus SCA is running out of mana. Dead Knight engages onto Gautam Iverson. Gautam Iverson is really weak right now. He should be building really tanky. Best Ramus SCA nearly takes down IML. We will see Best Ramus SCA not go down. Best Ramus SCA doesn't go down. Gautam Iverson goes down to the Azir. Best Ramus SCA takes down the Aurelia on his way out. Vadapoche does get bound by the Morgana, and he will go down to Terminator. Chloe is just putting out the culling, but it's not doing any damage, so I think the game is over right here because they are going for the top tower. IMZ will be the next casualty probably. We actually see Chloe go down to the buckshot from Graves. I'm not sure if that was lucky, but that was definitely well played by Dragon Slayer, and the game is going to be over, folks. There's huge death timers. The next person that's going to come out is in 10 seconds, but beyond that, there's a 15-second death timer on the rest of the team, and at least 30 seconds on the ADC and the mid laner, that is IMLMZ. I will see the first Nexus tower going down. The next Nexus tower will be on the plate, and they'll be looking to end the game right here, and they'll want to move on to the next game. This is a best of 3, so Nexus Destroyers will have to win the next game if they want to win this championship. They actually decided to back off. I'm not sure about this. I think they could have finished the game out right here. What do you think, Todd? Do you think they should have just finished the game out right there?
They could have potentially ended it, but I guess they just wanted, not to die. They probably know that the game is over because the Nexus is open. They can take the Baron and come back again. Probably, it's also a thought that, in every league in the ILG, all the stats are being recorded, the KDA being recorded, and they probably just didn't want to die and lose a KDA at this point of time.
Yeah, so I actually think that next game we'll be seeing a ban on the Maokai. Now we understand why that Maokai is banned out. Even though the Maokai didn't do as well in the lane because he did get poked up by Irelia, but he didn't do completely bad in the lane though. He did go down to the Irelia once, but he still did do well. But we do understand now why the Maokai is being banned out in these games. He's got 14 assists and 3 kills, only 4 deaths. He's so tanky, and he can root up Chloe. Chloe has to worry about every single engage because every single person on their team is a threat to Chloe. The Morgana binding, the best Rammus is here, that is the Volibear's knock up and back into his own team. Rowdy Killer with the binding from Morgana, Dead Knight with the root, that is a Twisted Advance, and Terminator just with the natural poke from him, they can just diminish Chloe to in an instant to absolutely nothing. So yeah, he has to worry about a lot, and I think Team Thefegits should work on those bans. And they'll know what to ban out next game. They'll have to ban out both Rammus and maybe Volibear because Volibear has been an integral part in these fights. We might see IMLMZ actually go down. He does ult onto Rowdy Killer. He might be looking to take down Rowdy Killer. He ends up... Dragonfire is engaged upon by the Irelia, but he is getting kited out. The Irelia does go down for a double kill onto Best Rammus SEA. Best Rammus SEA is just caning up these team fights with his... Volibear, but I think this is the end of the game, folks. Chloe cannot stop this push. He does not have the damage to stop this push, but that early invade has pretty much guaranteed them the win, and beyond that, Best Rammus SEA has pretty much been snowballing from the first, and we actually see Dragon Slayer just kill Chloe pretty aggressively, and we will see the Nexus going down. So Nexus Destroyers will only have to win the next game if they want to win this championship. So good luck to them. Good luck to Team Thefegits on the next game. We might see a comeback. This is DJ Ram signing off along with... Yeah, it is a best of 3. So we will see the next game coming in about 5 minutes. So this is DJ Ram and Todd and Wiley Kitty just signing off for about 5 minutes. We'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned.